You will have to forgive me while I try and get my Streamlabs chat. Whoa, first person in. Nubby Earwiggles, thank you very much. I like people coming in throwing bits. Kick open the door. Have 100 bits. Alright, I was trying to figure out what was going on with my dashboard over here that I can't take questions. Oh, and you got a black background there. And there's no dog? What kind of travesty? Kind of... This is the dead time while I wait for people to show up. Although it looks like quite a few jumped in. Oh, John Marcus. I guess that's one way I can fill my time. Oh, that's good. You need to secure your spot above Sinash Kazagal anyway, so that was a good way to do it. Let me see. I've seen an article on this. I'm trying to figure out why my script stuff disappeared, and I found there's some stuff like you have to sign in. I don't remember doing any of this stuff initially. That was kind of what I'm confused about. That you've got to have keys set up in Streamlabs. Hey, thank you for the resub as well, John Marcus. And thank you for the leet number of bits. 1337. I think only old school people know that stuff. I am elite. I used to run a BBS too, by the way. You do 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 do. You do do do. Let's see. Looks awfully dark on my screen. Oh, that's right. I'm trying to start up the game. I was running the patcher. And I put this down as the calm before the storm stream. Because we got tomorrow coming out. So to make things a little less stormy, there's a few things that I'm pushing until the first patch or the Monday patch. We have enough big changes going on. Unfortunately, not many of the changes we promised in the forward-looking stuff, but I think we actually got a lot more stuff done than we had thought we would get done. It's just not what we'd been telling people, so... again, though, we need to go back and reset some expectations, not on the amount of content we're going to create and the amount of new feature stuff we're going to create, just in the what order it's going to be created in. Let me get in there. Where's my trader dog? Fine, if he's not going to be here, I'm just going to cover him up with my camera. Hey, thank you, Spungwa, for the 3x resub. If the dog shows up, I'll uncover him. Let's see. So I mentioned I'll do this one here. For those who are here early, I'm sorry you got here early. And I'm sorry John Marcus gave me a elite number of bits. Let's see. I think I'm going to do a Jim Croce here. I'm trying to figure out what song to do for him. Let's see. I'll do Jim Croce, Working at the Car Wash Blues. I don't think I've ever done this one before. While I wait here for things. Let me get into, get the map loading. There we go. Now I got something. Well, I just got out from the county prison doing 90 days for non-support. Tried to find me an executive position, but no matter how smooth I talked, they wouldn't listen to the fact that I was a genius. The man said we got all that we can use, and now I got them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues. Oh, well, I should be sitting in an air-conditioned office in a swivel chair, talking some trash to the secretary, saying, "Hey now, mama, come on over here." Instead, I'm stuck here rubbing these fenders with a rag and walking home in soggy shoes. Oh, wait, that was completely off on those. With those steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues. Bad news, the map's loaded, so I'm not going to sing anymore. Again, I grew up on those songs, but I haven't actually listened to them much lately. I need to get Maxine listening to those so she can hear my childhood. I'm trying not to force my childhood memories on her as if somehow my childhood music is somehow better than hers, just because that's one of those like most ridiculous things ever. A metal style, or maybe a bluegrass. Brass knuckles, I have my moments. Do keep in mind that I'm singing into a non-singing microphone, and I am also doing it with absolutely no backup music or any of that stuff. I sound good to myself when I'm drunk. That's the only qualifications, and Maxine never complains about it. Although I noticed Mojito's still not in the room. Where's Mojito going? Look at the dog go. Where you going, buddy? Oh, that's the fun nav mesh thing. You guys like that? Run, buddy. Run. Run. Don't stand over there. Okay, let me figure out the giveaway first. I haven't actually opened it yet. Ooh, village-owned town, or player-owned town village lot property deal. Maybe I'll make that my last one. An elven village home? Kind of looks like a shabby... I was going to say shabby chic, but no, it really just looks shabby. I'll do that one for the first one there. Elven village home. There we go. Let's see. I was actually looking through. I spotted something earlier today. I was trying to track down where it went to. Let me see if this is it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I think I know where it is. Hold on one second. Oh, I can't even remember what that one is. Don't give away too much. You've convinced me. No more giveaways. No, I try to give away. I mean, we shoot for my target. Again, I mean, I look at the economy stuff and watch the crown stuff carefully. Here's some actual truth for you. Some of these things that I give away actually stir sales. So, for instance, like I said, I'm going to give away a player-owned town village lot property deed. So if it's someone who doesn't already have one, they should already have one. But, again, that's one that probably isn't going to sell that much anyways because players can already get a village property deed. And if I give one away, then there's a chance you're going to buy stuff to go on it. You're going to set up a second house. You're going to put a house on it that it's something that you might buy. Same thing, if I give you a house, then, hey, guess what? You got to get a deed for that, or a lot for that to go on. So some of it is calculated. But then also looking at things, we try to give away roughly 10% of what whatever we sell, we try to give away 10%. We try to make sure that roughly 10% more drops in game. It's kind of just some ballpark numbers for you. So, and when I say giveaway, I don't just mean me giving stuff away. I give away, my usual stuff is less than 10,000 crowns per stream is pretty much what I always shoot for. But if you look at add in all the crowns we give away to streamers and other people like that, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is we try to give away roughly 10% of whatever, and I don't believe that 10% really comes off that. I mean, it's also one of those things you talk about game psychology and the reality, like shopping. That's it's way beyond games. It's the shopping mentality of, do people have a set amount of money they're going to spend, or do they have a set number of things they're going to end up buying? If you give them something, does that mean they're not going to buy? And that's one of those things that's impossible to actually know. Most of the research type stuff I've seen on it and heard people talk about, at least probably with little data to back it up, indicates that people generally have an amount they want to spend. But who knows? Alphane9 could use some giveaway codes. Well, he's got to ask me. I'll check my mailbox. He may have. It looks like I've got 10 emails waiting for me. I'm trying not to look at emails until tomorrow when I've got a little more free time. I do think it's important to stream and talk to you guys, especially like some people. There's kind of the two thoughts. I've had people like say, quit streaming and go work. Well, I think I get more out of the stream stuff, especially like hearing bugs and stuff from you guys. I just fixed a bunch of those today. Haven't seen him chime in yet with a raffle, but like one of them I just fixed a little while ago was Tazar had mentioned. Oh, I think I see Flare in here, but not Tazar. But had mentioned the dungeon. We have basically we're so anti-pay to win, we're pay to lose. Which by that I mean that the dungeon pieces that we sold, actually, when you put them in your dungeon, they took up twice as many points as the free ones. So if you bought dungeon pieces from us, they were eating up more points in the dungeon. So I lowered those down. Just an example. I mean, there's always, every stream I always get something good out of it and get a few jars. There are a few that came up. The rapid recycle rate on some rune stuff, that was fixed if people were worried about that, where it's not properly handling the cooldown. And the no critting. So the no critting thing, looking at it this morning, it looks like it dates back to April 22nd is when that broke, but it actually is not critting. It's actually doing the critting and generating crit damage. It's just not coloring the text properly. So your DPS should not have decreased over the past month with the crits being gone, because really it just wasn't showing crits. It was still doing crit damage. You want Star to stream on the day before release? He's got plenty to do. I don't want him on here anyways, because this is always the time for like the last week before the release. He's always grumpy. He'd get on here and yell at you guys. He'd be like, ban, 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 ban. You did raffle twice, ban. Tazar, so I stepped through the code. I checked the max damage. I verified at least this morning. Now, maybe some other change went in that made it so it is now doing the crit damage, but it is definitely doing the crit damage. It's doing well in excess of what the max damage was. But the crit coloring is not showing up. It's one of those tough things. That's one of those challenges we have. If you look at our... Whenever you mouse over a spell and you see what the damage is, we've had this reported as a bug, and it's kind of one of those things that's like not entirely sure what to do about it, which is that the damage we list here, like that's not the damage you're going to do. it all depends on what you're shooting. If you're shooting something that has, you know, high fire resist or whatever, then yeah, it's not gonna do whatever. So we list a number here, but it doesn't accurately represent the exact damage you're gonna be doing. But well, I think that the chat log, the chat, it's not showing up as a crit. There's a hit type that gets passed around because it basically does the two-step thing. Now it rolls the severity, the quality of the hit, and then the did you hit type things. So it is passing through. It's in the call stack. This morning I was stepping through it in about 30 steps deep, and it took me forever to find about where it was and track it down to what actually happened. One and Only is actually trying to fix it right now. But I tracked it to a change he made, that it was something that I'm not clear on why he made it. I probably could figure it out if I wanted to sit there and scratch my head and walk through a ton of code, but usually when I have those type things where it's somebody specific's change, it's best if that person actually fixes it. But it starts at, it rolls the hit and you got a crit up here, and then it comes down the list, and then in about 15 call steps in, it passes in, and it's now a hit type of none, which doesn't mean anything to you, but none is basically we haven't done a test result. Normal is what we would look for a normal hit, or a glancing blow, or a critical hit. So that it was actually getting wiped, and it looked like it was in one of the places where there's a lot of like handoff stuff. Again, all this stuff, when you actually, I say this frequently, but when you actually get into making a big game, and especially a multiplayer game, and a server-based game, and everything else, and all the optimizations, nothing is trivial. So this is one of those things where there's a lot of data handoff going back and forth, and proxy information being passed around, and a proxies being created. And somewhere in that proxy creation, it looks like the type is getting wiped, not properly handled. But anyways, long story short, it will be fixed, I believe, for tomorrow. I can go check to see if he already checked in a fix for it. Let's see. Yes, it is fixed. Checked in at 11:09. Let's see. Did I buff single target spell damage? I have not buffed. In fact, you know what? I reverse buffed one single target spell damage for this release. So one of the things I'm looking at right now, which I may put out for this release, is the attunement formulas. Now that I'm giving players ways to increase their resistance, that attunement formula had originally been a 1x. If you remember yesterday, there's a POW whatever, comma 0.67 POW. So that originally was 1, and I'd like to actually get it back there and basically make attunement allow for more power, now that there's actually ways for players to get resistance. And this is part of the problem, that it's not just single target stuff. The multi-target stuff obviously is doing pretty okay in Magic. A few spells in particular are just really powerful. But the single target stuff, it's really most Magic, especially if you look PvE to some extent, but actually PvP far more. Good luck winning PvP there if all you're doing is Magic stuff, which is not what we ever want. So anyways, I plan on tuning that a little bit, and again, that's really just going to be changing that number. That may go from like 0.67 to 0.70 or something like that, to continue to crank up the magic damage a little bit. At the same time, I may add some more cost to the multi-target, the AE stuff, but I don't plan on nerfing the AE directly in terms of like reducing its DPS. I will probably do another pass where I increase focus or increase reagent cost or something like that. I guess people just gather around my house now because I know I'm just going to stand here and stare at a wall. Alright, I'll play along. go. Whee. So I still don't have my question thing working. I did not get a chance. I know this will shock you, but I've been kind of busy the last 24 hours. But I did not get a chance to look into what was up with that. Oh, and apparently Snugs has played on QA and has given the thumbs up, the initial thumbs up for the current taming stuff that's going in. Is that a tail on me? No, that's not a tail. Oh, look, there's an invisible person right in front of my camera. I wonder who that could be. Does kind of look like I have a little tail. What's up with that? I don't know, that's just the gap in between my red frilly pants. Yes, yes, I know. That's the invisible guy. It's I'm sure it's Nubby. Whee! I'm gonna get some buffs on people here. Jump strength 50. There we go. Let's see. Yes, Ehondas, yes, even the console slows when I have the time scale slow on. That's initially, like, I think the first few times we did that, it actually didn't check for 0, and we kind of did one of those little, what happens if you set it to 0? Trouble. Trouble is what happens. All right, let's see. I'm having to do my questions manually here. I know it's first world problems. Will there come a better info on the summoned elementals like water heal? Yeah, I mean that's one that's tough to figure out how to get the information across for the heal. I think I'm gonna put in more. Oh, apparently there's other people in this town. Oh, now there's people who want. There you go, Nubby. But let's see. Yeah, it's tough to get across information like that. I think probably the short term is going to be that I'm just going to go and continue to make improvements on the. Wait, was there a bucket coming up to get me? There's a bucket coming up to get me. But the short term will just be that I improve all the descriptions for spells, and that's actually, I'm going to be doing that. I already took a pass at a few, but I need to do a lot more. Which means, guess what? I'm going to have a bunch of typos. You guys love it when I make the typos. Oh, poor Mojito can't come with me. Let's see. Question. Yesterday you showed the formula with a total attunement resist term in it. Is Armor Gem wording included in that formula? Yes, that should be included in that formula as well. And that was, I put it, the variable, I wrote out a variable for it. I may still have the, oh no, I deleted it. But in the formula I had something like half of attunement, and then I had like resist plus magic resist, like is one word. That actually had more stuff in there. I just shortened it because I was trying to get it on the screen, and that was a whole like resist plus magic resist plus specific type resist plus blah 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 blah. I just couldn't put that up on the screen, but yeah, that includes all that stuff. Let's see. What other questions? Scammer on GG. So currently in the Fire Tree, Immolation, Ring of Fire, and the initial impact from Flame Fist and Fire Arrow all have the chance to crit. Will the dots from Flame Fist and Fire Arrow also have the chance to crit, like Immo, Ring of Fire? So some of that stuff is the Ring of Fire and Immolation. They are... Those are slightly different in that they are doing something, and this is just in terms of how we put some of the skills together. There's some things that are like, it's an effect, I apply the effect to you. Some things, it's actually creating an effect area, which is a different system, but basically it creates an area effect that's a separate thing, and that's so... I think Immolation was just set up that way because that's the only thing we had at the time back in the day, and we've never changed it. Alright, I've got some people here. Nero. I had people messaging me saying, hey, can we get gravity turned back on? Oh, but anyway, so Ring of Fire, some of these other effects, Ring of Fire is one of them. It creates an area effect because obviously it needs to stay where you cast it. There's several things like Ice Field and Meteor Shower and some of these other things. So you're basically creating an area effect that it hangs in that space rather than being an effect that gets applied to an individual or gets applied to yourself. Again, Immolation doesn't make sense that it does it that way. I think it was just set up that way initially because it was the one of the earlier spells, like we didn't have a better way to do it at the time. And probably should change. Whoop. Hold on. Oh, did these people die? Yep. Sorry, guys. Hold on, let me resurrect these guys. Let's see if that works. Jumping really high is a dangerous thing, by the way. Let's see. Oh, so the dots from the Flame Fist, Fire Arrow, and those things, it's kind of intentionally that it's because it hits you and I give the initial hit a chance to critical. But then after that, it's really just kind of a constant burn rather than being a crit thing. That was actually a change I made back in the day because it was getting kind of... Well, for one, it doesn't seem very realistic. You guys can't quite see my thumbs when I do count off my numbers. But one, it doesn't seem very realistic, but two, it was also at that time, their fire mages were actually pretty OP. I think they're much further down the ladder in terms of being OP. But again, my plan is not to make them crit, just because, again, that does still seem a little bit weird. But rather to just increase the overall damage for several schools. Is List listening in? Any info? I don't know if List is listening in. We'll probably be putting out some patches that contain new content. I already know I've got a couple, just that there are things that are on QA right now, but they need more testing. That would be like there's 9 new artifacts that I think will be going in for this release. Actually make that 10 new artifacts, and those will be in the 4 variations of common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. But those should be going in, but I'm probably not going to put them in until the Friday patch. So you guys can have them for the weekend. And I'm trying to put them in interesting spots. At least 3 of them are supposed to be in Tartarus, which I'm probably not going to put live until next week. So those may remain rare. Although I was thinking I may put one of them, the zombie skin thing, I may put that as a very rare drop on all zombies. Let's see. Scoffer26, what is the status of crafting specialization? How long do we have to wait? I'm hoping we get going on next release, and at least get a first pass at things. The B hit was the one who'd kind of punted those, but he punted for a good reason, which again, when somebody gets something they want, somebody else doesn't get something that they want, and that's one that he did a lot of work on taming and some other stuff, and that just, to him, that was the higher priority. But yes, I'm hoping, I already said I'm going to try and push crafting myself next release and help out some. Question, could I get a zombie skin belt on a release day since undead pets are kind of my thing? No, you can't get Hey, Brighton Rock, thank you for 100 bits. That's a name I don't see often. I'm trying to think if I've seen that name before. But thank you. And also, since I'm over 100 viewers, this is about usually where I do my couple things. One, I'll give away the first prize round. But two, also introduce myself. My name is Chris Spears. I am Atos in the game, but I am the tech director on Shroud of the Avatar. And I get on here and do a couple hours of streaming every day whenever I can to talk to you guys and have a bit of a dialogue with you, so I can integrate some of your feedback and make sure that your complaints are being heard. Oh, look at that nice purple haze. I would not even try to sing Jimi Hendrix. Let's see. Oh, and Scammer and Good Game, the formula I shared yesterday was for negative spells. So that would basically mean attack spells when I'm doing a negative effect on you. The positive one, I think it actually is using a POW of 1.0. So for the positive spells like heals and buffs, it's actually can be a larger multiplier. Let's see. Question. Are there other taming artifacts we haven't seen yet? I think there's one I did not give out. I'm going to try again. Some of these I'm going to try to sneak into specific scenes and leave semi-secret, but you'll be getting them soon enough. Here's, of course, our undead friend. And no, you cannot have a zombie belt. Oh, the Mojito and Owl's Head doesn't look as much like your doggy as the new pet. Yeah, he's actually, the new one, Damon actually did a quick pass on the texture to make him look like that in addition to scaling him. So yeah, I need to go swap him out. I've had that on I actually have like a critical Jira that I've made for myself from one of these streams that was, go fix Mojito in Owl's Head. Maybe this is the release I make that happen. Hoagie Boomer, about there were concerns about resist not being applied correctly in PvE, only PvP. I have a Jira for it. I started looking at it this morning, and then I got pulled off to work on something else critical. I will get to it before this release, but I'm pretty sure it is working right. Again, that's just one of those sanity check things where there's so many things I've touched and some things I haven't touched for a year. Forget the exact details on things, but I want to go make sure, give it a good sanity check. Anybody who's watched me do like sanity checks on the stream, I frequently will walk through code or walk through logic and immediately say, nope, this is all wrong. Let me fix it. Oop the Veil, where's the entrance to Tartarus when it actually has one? That is a good question. I have looked at a couple places. I was just going to hook it into the sewers. But that may be, I'm a little bit worried about that just because that's kind of a bit of a death trap for like new people who wander in. But it does start, the first level of the dungeon is kind of like a tier 5, a tough tier 5, but still a tier 5, like a group tier, like a group of level 50s can probably handle the first level of the dungeon if they're smart. As it goes down, like the next level's probably again a group of level 50s might be able to handle it, but it's getting more into what I'd call like tier 8, where it's more like you're getting up into, you know, a couple of good level 80s could probably handle it. But let's see. Make fireworks last longer. Give us stairs to place in pots to go up the side of the mountain. Oh, that'd be tough to figure out, because all the pot stuff, all the placement stuff, it's looking for the... Oh, someone's doing something other than throwing water on me. But it's tough because it's when you're on a mountain, you're talking about a slanted space, and that's, as you know, most of those things look for flat spaces to put things on. So I guess we could, if we had the steps up, they'd have to be like suspended magic, not touching anything. Will the fix for death specialization not increasing the undead pet? Yes, I'm going to do that right now. You know what? I'm going to go make a change for you. That is also one that has been on my list for a while. And it will only take me a minute to fix. But let me do a giveaway. You guys have like 5 seconds to raffle. Hey, thank you, Gia Turag. Which reminds me, I'm acting like you can see what I'm looking at. But the top 10 list resets in 2 days. Right now, Snugs, John Marcus, and Sinash Kazagal will be getting gold cloaks and silver cloaks. And then Catherine Rose, Synthetic 9, Gravity 42, Sean Butts, Ice Star Strider, T Branch, and Eric Rules will be getting silver cloaks in game. I am not wearing one right now. Hold on, let me go fix this thing. Hey, thank you very much, Remy Theriantha, for the resub. Resub times 2. 2 times is cool. Let's see. Death Mastery. Affects death effectiveness. Got it. And thank you very much, Light Tiger 8. I fix this guy right now. I think I know exactly where it is. Except that Unity's slow and pausing. And also, for those who don't know, I haven't done it this week because it's a release week, and again, hair on fire, coming in hot, especially for this release. So I haven't done it this week, but I have been doing them in the past, which, as people who have watched, I stream from 4 a.m. to noonish. And that is because I start my workday at 4 a.m. We all work from home, for those who don't know much about the project. So that fits my schedule. I wake up, I'm an early morning person. Yes, I know I'm insane. But that fits my schedule. Hold on. So that's when I do it, because it works well for me, and the family's not there to bother me. Maxine, my 5-year-old, gets up about 6 o'clock, so I take a break from like 6:15 to 6:45 or so to get her ready for school. But it's pretty much 7 hours, frequently 8 hours of me cursing at Unity. That's the short version. I will say, again, Unity, any engine that you use to make a big game, by the time you get done with the game, you will hate it. Let's see. So, Death Mastery. Let me read the descriptions on these things, so I can understand what I'm touching here. So, Death Mastery. Undead Mastery. Death summons effectiveness plus 260. Hold on. kind of crap is that? Undead Mastery. Oh no, that's Death Mastery is what I'm looking at. Okay. Death Mastery. Okay, 14.5. I was going to say the number was way off on that. So let's see. So 14.5. So, and that says life drains give more hit points. Wait, that's not supposed to do anything. Summoned undead are stronger. Okay, that's the one I'm supposed to be working on. Undead Mastery, not Death Mastery. Okay, got it. Death Summon Effectiveness is used there. And then if I come over here, again, sorry, I know this makes horrible streaming, but it's one of those things that I've put off a bunch and I want to make sure it gets in there. So it looks like it is being used. I'm pretty sure it is being used. It just sucks. That's the short version. Let me pop over to Unity here and see. Is that Unity? Nope, that's not Unity. Hold on. Do. You do. Oh, well, that's fabulous. How about stretch the screen? There we go. Move you guys down there. So yeah, so this is the innate. So let me get. Oh yeah, usually I hide this window over there. Pretend like you're not seeing anything. That's me checking the poly count on the pirate ship. People worried about stuff. Poly count on it's actually pretty good. There's a lot of objects on it. We may do a little bit of baking stuff together, but we can't bake stuff together too much because then it ends up pushing our poly counts too high thanks to shadow casting lights, casting shadows, and forcing a re-render of everything. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Do. Undead summon innates. Thank you, Lich Mister. So you can see down here, it is doing something with it. When I get into game, again, I've got the advantage that I can set my skills to 0 real quick and then set them to 100 real quick and see what the difference is. My belief is it is adding to it, but it's adding like 100 hit points if you master it. So your skeleton can go from 300 to 400 hit points for only 1,000,000 experience points. Isn't that awesome? Oh, this is the part where I'm cussing at Unity because it's so slow. I've done a number of profiles on this, trying to understand why it's so slow to start things. Because I went and this is our test level and it has like nothing in it, and I went and removed like everything, and it doesn't change the load times at all. It is all Unity making copies of a ton of internal tables and stuff, so that when you do play and you change something, it doesn't change it back in the editor. But again, there's some better ways that can handle that, like using a dirty flag system or something rather than making entire copies of everything in there. Leave everything alone and then set flags on things that are dirty and only duplicate state for those things, so that I don't have to sit here for this long where I have time to explain the technical problems behind it while I wait for it to start. And this is also because Unity does not test on a big project. Well, it looks like I'm getting extra time here. And again, I have already pressed the play button and I'm just waiting for it to start. Do. Dun 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 dun. There we go. So again, rapid iteration, used to be. I keep making it slower though. Thank you, Lichmeister, Mister. I'm sure you want me to fix this more than anybody. Hold on. Waiting for it, waiting for it, waiting for it. It's kind of fun. If you watch this little section there, you could see all the guys as they spawned in. We use the incremental spawning to reduce load times. Alright, we'll use a skeleton. Okay, so if I cast a summon skeleton with 120 skill. Hey, bud. Let's mouse over him. We can see he's adventure level 66. That's pretty crappy. And he has a health of 682. Not too terrible. Uh-oh. Oh, Liz, we actually were just talking about that. She says the taming stuff on Solus Bridge outskirts is a waste. There's no whistles, no silver to make them, blah, blah, blah. We were actually talking about doing something where we give people, we start them with a couple of no-trade whistles. This is another one of those things we didn't have to deal with back in the old days when we were a pay-to-play game. If you wanted to play, you had to spend, $45 or whatever. Back in those days, we didn't have to worry about it. Now that we're a free-to-play game, we have to worry about stuff like no-trade. And hey, if we give players no-trade stuff, or if we give players cool stuff to start off with that other players have any desire for whatsoever, then people can just spam, make hundreds of accounts, and get all that stuff. Get as many of those things as they want to. I think Liz was probably pinging me for a reason down here. I'm looking. Oh, she was asking the same question, pinging me again. But yes, we're probably going to give players a no-trade, like collar and no-trade whistle, so everybody will start with like one or two of each, is the plan. Chris Math. Oh, also in Chris Timer is the other problem going on right now, which is I need to close this giveaway and pick a winner. Spinock. Old friend, you, sir, have won the thing, the Elven Village Home. Let me find some other cool thing here. We'll do, since I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff and people are concerned that I give away too much stuff here, I'm going to give away the Ornate Kimono. You too, for only, now on sale for only 800 crowns, could be that guy who walks around all day long in a bathrobe. I know it's not a bathrobe. Not trying to offend. What? Offending cultures. What was that one? But let's see. Hold on. Reset and kimono outfit thing. No, I'm gonna call it a bathrobe. Bathrobe. There you go. Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Hold on, I was being silly and doing the thing again where I talk about stuff and point at stuff on my screen that you can't see. That thing. Very fashionable bathrobe. So, let's see. Did I open the thing? Ship out of danger. Okay, so where were we? We were here trying to get Lichmister to have his pet not be horrible. So he has 682 health right now. If I 683, actually it's up there. Dismiss him and bypass my trainers, so I can go up here and do the death mastery. Nope. Undead mastery. Got a lot of mastery going on in the death tree. Apparently thesaurus.com was down that day. Okay, so he was 683. Let's see what he is now. Aha! So yes, so it is actually adding to it. It just doesn't add very much. So you probably get like 1 hit point per point you put into him. Or a little less. Maybe a little more. I guess it'd be a little more. I lowered it to 90 points. So it is working. You just don't like how little it works. So that is, I do agree with that. And then comparing that same type skill to the Death Tree, I'm going to bump it up for this release. Not going to be crazy, but I will bump it up. I would expect more like a mastery and an extra skill like for pet stuff. I would say that's probably more like in the 200 range is where it should be. That will also give the undead summoning boost if you have some. I think there's some items that add that as well. But yeah, if you level up, like, let's see, what does it cost there? You got it at 100 for, let's see, if you want to get a little bit better at it, it's only going to cost you 500,000 experience points to get 1 point of health on your skeleton. Now it'll get you 2 points. You're welcome. Again, though, as I've said many times before, I'm trying to make sure when we are making changes, we are not making extreme changes. We are more just nudging things in the right direction, because it's really easy to overshoot, and you guys hate it when I overshoot, because then I have to take away your fun new thing. Bonus from someone did a thing. Oh, Lichmaster is playing the part of Snugs today. This will probably be in the first build. If not, it'll be in the patch. Oh, here's another fun one. You can see I'm submitting a file here just to Perforce, which is instantaneous. Like, Perforce is so crazy fast. But on Unity, it basically, again, it inserts, removes, like, from a database that ends up taking like 20 to 30 seconds. Anyways, back to our game. So basically, if you watch my morning streams, what you'll be convinced of is, like, you'll be shocked and amazed that our game runs at all. That's kind of the short version. Look, I still have my jump boost. Meow. You're welcome. Let's see. Thank you, Lichmeister, Lichmister. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Many times over. Let me see if you made it into the top. You're not in the top 10. Eric Rules does not like me pointing that out, but you're just outside the top 10, I think. So maybe if I do a little bit more patchwork on undead stuff, you'll make it to the top 10. Let's see. Questions. Oh, you're actually asking questions. I see what it is now. No, I should charge 100 for question answering. Get my attention. I'm talking about death specialization, not boost. Oh, that. So this was a separate thing, but also an issue in my opinion. Again, though, I think pets. This will not shock anyone, but pets were initially crazy weak. The amount of toughness they've come up, and I don't think it's hurt anything, but I think it's one of those things we kind of had some design stuff early on that players far exceeded, but players far exceeding the expectations for their toughness does not mean that the pets automatically scaled up, and we never went back and scaled up the pets. So this is one of those things that has needed to happen for a while. But let's see. Hold on, I'm still waiting over here. You guys can't see it, but I'm still waiting on Unity to submit a single file to Perforce. It's just that awesome. Here, we can go back. There you go. Yep, still frozen. I will be looking at the death specialization here in a minute. As soon as Unity stops being crappy. Anybody have any other questions while I wait for Unity to stop being crappy? Lichmeister, thank you very much. Death specialization only buffs undead pet damage. What else does it do? I'll tell you in a second. I'll have to go look. I can go and find every place where it's referenced. Actually, it's a little tough because we use it, if you see in the formulas on the right-hand side here. This is kind of how we do a lot of things. We have kind of some formula stuff where we have some variables, stats that get passed around through the player stuff, and then they get embedded into assets like these where it's just a string that determines the effectiveness of things. So did the deck bug get fixed on QA? Not showing any of your decks. Ooh, I had not heard about that. That sounds scary. Let me get that up while I wait, because it's always good to run 2 debug copies of the game and the editor, and the Unity editor at the same time. I may have to just kill Unity. It's still just locked up. That sounds bad. Can anyone else confirm that the decks just don't show up? Yeah, and Raven Slayer, Unity will never stop being crappy. The part that's crazy, probably if I were starting another game now, I'd probably still pick Unity. There's just some things I would do very differently with Unity. But again, it's one of those things where when we started the project, Unity was a simpler engine. I would probably also want to make sure and budget to get the code, because I don't trust Unity on so many things. But again, that's like $100,000 a year license. This was on the patch 836 last night. Deck's not showing up. Woohoo, I got a login bonus. Hey, Numerons, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, not having decks not show up would be a bad thing. For those who don't know, possibly Numerons, I do the stream mainly to promote Shroud of the Avatar, but it's also so I can have a dialogue with the players and fix things on the stream. I will not increase the rate of spawns for you, no matter how many bits you give me. That's kind of a hot topic in terms of trying to monitor and, increase the rate of spawns of resources. That one is not. And again, I'll ignore that red stuff. Oh, you can't even see the red stuff. Hold on. I'm just logging on to QA to verify. Just logging on to QA to see if that deck thing is actually still there. Yes, and Eric Rules, that is exactly part of why it's frustrating, is pay us $100K a year so you can tell us how to fix our code. And that's kind of what it feels like, and that's part of the whole matter of principle that I hate paying for a source code license when there are 2 competitors. Really all their competitors have moved to a model of the code is free. So what's not showing up in the decks? Somebody help me. Oh, I'm not actually showing you the right version. Hold on, let me get the game up. There we go, but I'm not clear on the deck thing. So my decks are showing up here. Modify, what am I missing? It says 838, so maybe that was one that was broken yesterday and fixed in 838. Yeah, Falcon's Lantern. We've actually investigated changing engines and done some numbers for what the cost would be, and it's more, Eve Online. They have uh, tens of millions of dollars sitting in the bank, and they have the resources to do that. For us, it would be a major undertaking that would cripple the project for far too long. We do not have millions of dollars sitting in the bank. This should shock no one, especially since we make pretty much all of our numbers public. So we scrape by and do what we can with what we got. But yeah, that's my real hope, is that they will change their ways, that they'll finally cave to that stuff. But again, I think they've kind of moved more towards just really caring about a couple of markets, like the mobile market and smaller console market stuff. Do. Yeah, EVE Online. Well, I don't know if they crapped on their player base a few years back. I don't know about that part, talking about EVE Online, but they were purchased by the Black Desert Online people. But again, they have crazy deep pockets, both of them. So I forget who was saying that. Was that you, Brass Knuckles? Were you the one saying that there was a problem with the decks? You couldn't see them? That appear to be fixed. Whoops. Noob. Fix. Nope, that's not it. Oh, nope, you didn't say it. Dulane, I only sent you one. Oh yeah, Lichmaster. I got distracted there. Yes, I know. I actually remember doing it and dragging one, and then but I thought I dragged 10,000 after that, so maybe I didn't do it. We'll know in a second, because I can probably go and let me minimize that thing. Come back over here, jump over to this guy. Probably if I go and look here, I will have a stack of exactly 10,000. Ah, nope, there you go. There's your stack, man. Okay, so now I know what I did. Yesterday I tried dragging. I remember I I got the one thing again. And I okay, shift drag whatever, type in 10,000. I got 10,000. Then I dragged off a stack of 10,000, and I dragged one off the stack of 10,000. So don't spend that one crown in one place there. I guess you really can't. They're indivisible. Bober. I can look at that as soon as I send Dulane some the crowns I owe him. And then Dulane Movaro. Did I get it right? Yeah? Yeah. Let me get those to him. Bam. And then next up is Lichmister. You don't have to keep giving me 100 bits, 100 bits, 100 bits. I'll take it though. But Lichmister, let me get his. Looks like it finally unfroze over here in Unity land. So let me go take care of that. Let's see. So according to the description here, Death Magic Specialization is the devotion of oneself to the school of death magic. It increases the power of all death magic while weakening your power and resistance to the opposing school of life. Let's see. Impact each school differently, blah, 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 different mastery, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know what? I don't think I ever actually did the added specialization for taming. But now that I understand what you're talking about, I can do it right here and just make that. I'll tack at least one thing on for this release as a little bit of a band-aid. Let me go find the exact name of the stat. Mad at attunement. Nope. Do 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 do. It is Death Mastery. Tassilo is messaging me furiously. I guess it's 9 o'clock over there. Do 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 do. So I haven't been paying attention to the forums. Has the hubbub over the changes to rewards program died down? Again, that's one of those things we knew that some people would be happy, some people would be sad, but we needed to make the change, and we think having for customer support reasons and also just art volume reasons and predictability reasons as well. I try to look and see, like, people talk about stuff, but I looked and the number of new subscriptions was 2x what it was, 2x times the cancellations in the last 24 hours. It was like 24 new subscriptions in the last 24 hours, so pardon me. Rewards program. Good thing Star isn't watching. Yes, let me get over there. Death Mastery is the variable I want. So for this release here, just so we can say we did something. I'm going to have it add to... so adding it to health regen is a really touchy one because it's easy to get to. Hey, it's List Rostov. Tazar had a question for you, List. He was wondering about some dungeon pieces that were supposed to go in 2 releases ago. 2 releases. But yeah, so the health regen is one I kind of try not to mess with. We've got to be really careful on that because we don't want them to going positive. That gets to be a really big deal. But adding to the strength and... Yeah, there's nothing that it adds to right now. Oh no, it does add. Parent Death Master. It adds to the strength. That's right, because it adds to the strength. That's what I was looking at last time. This is probably what you're remembering when we talked about last time. The strength, but the strength wasn't being used to calculate in for the hit points, so... Okay. I'm calling that good. That'll give you another, if you're having 80 mastery, 80 death mastery, that'll give you like another 120 hit points. If you have 100 skill, it'll give you about 150. Doop boop doo doop. Let me save project. I will not check in through Unity this time. I will check in over here. Ooh, let's see. Did you move up? Oh, you're still not in the top 10 right now. You're not far off. You got a couple more days here. I'll try and do some more death magic stuff for you. Hold on, let me get this submitted. Updating death summon innates to add more health for death mastery. There we go. Whew. Let's see. I did the giveaway. Did I send out that last giveaway? That was to Spinock one. I don't think I sent it out yet. I forget, you're not just Spinock. Maybe the name came up, but I missed it. Oh, I think I saw Spinock. Hold on. Spinock the Great, that's what I thought. And what was that? That last one was the Elven, the shabby chic Elven Village home. Grats. That is on sale today. Dude, your mailbox is full. How embarrassing. You will get nothing from me. Oh, still got the jump on. See if I can nail the landing here. Alright, let's see. Do Bober Jenkins. Question, can you look at the Twin Spires home? The external walls of the house are not capable of having deco items. Let's go, let me go look. I don't know what that thing's called in code. Hold on, there's an easy way for me to find out what the actual asset name is. We're still selling that thing, right? That's not it. What's it called? What am I supposed to see here? Can I get my observatory village from your Twitch partner stream? Yeah. I guess I owe you that. Hold on. Hold on, I'm going to close that Q8. It appears that thing is fixed, by the way, the deck thing. What the heck? I'm not in God mode? I'm trying to remember. Synthetic 9. Are you... You're not synthetic in game. Are you delaying in game? Who are you, synthetic? I forgot who you were in game. Obviously, I know you from the stream. Christopher Reese. Okay, I knew it was a name that I knew well. And Dulane is Dulane. Do. Hold on. Observatory home. Grats. And go away. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm not PK flagged right now. They can't get me. Lich Mage summon for specialists. So the changes I just made to help the skeleton will help all undead summons. So you say it's a manor? Is that what it is? I see no such thing as a manor. Aha, I think I found it. One second. That goes there. Almost got it. Let's see. pop over to Unity here for a second so you guys don't have to look at that. That thing. Let's see. So if we look at deco stuff, let's see, deco walls. So here's the deco wall stuff. So I think you are probably correct. I think there's probably deco surfaces for the inside walls, but not for the outside walls. Yeah, because there's deco ceilings, deco ceiling extended, deco floor, deco, and this is another example of the amount of work that goes into putting a house together. Goes far, far, far beyond the model. Somebody said turreted. Well, I'm betting it is very similar to this thing here. So, but yeah, it looks like they don't have deco surfaces on the outside. This one doesn't. The other one's different. Shroud the avatar. While you're there, can you fix the lights? What's wrong with the lights, Liz? Brass knuckles. How about the Phoenix? It sucks. Yes, this Phoenix sucks. That is the suckiest pet there is. There, I said it. I feel strongly about it. I'll make Phoenix. The Phoenix will rise from the ashes next release. Do you hear me, Brass Knuckles? The Phoenix will rise from the ashes. C Star's the drama major. I was the engineer. Scammer on GG. Yeah, I planned on that. Was actually something I planned on doing this release, was making Fireball suck less. It is especially sucky compared to... Oh, and I'm like so far behind here. Again, thank you, List, for your 100 bits to pay for your beer next week. And thank you, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Thank you, Scooby-Doo, and thank you, Lich Mister, both for being staying on me about stuff so I don't forget about it. And also, obviously, for the bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh-oh. Looks like Eric Rules got knocked off by Scooby-Doo. I think that may have been the secret purpose there. 2 days left. Let's see. Yeah, Anakitos. That is, I usually try to look at metrics, and that is... It's hard to tell because sometimes people just like the visuals of a pet. You know, having the fire chicken around, you know, the visuals are not horrible. Because it does get used a fair amount. But again, I sometimes, if it were just a DPS thing, I would probably trust it. But I think just because there's so much of pets are about the visuals and the look, I don't trust that. I do believe that the Phoenix is horribly underpowered. Hold on, I gotta reply to Taz about something. He, for those who don't know, he is in, I think he's actually in Germany right now, not in Barcelona. But anyways, he's still traveling the world, making us all jealous. So I'm hearing this is probably not the right one, but yeah, you guys, List would probably be the guy to do it. And I think Tazar's gonna kick his ass if he doesn't get him his dungeon stuff that he promised. So that's probably gonna be higher priority. And in addition to that, there's also like the whole Lord of the Isle House, and probably. And List has said that he is his brain is going to catch on fire if he's not allowed to work on a high difficulty dungeon for next release. He was jealous I worked on mine this release, so he probably we'll see how when he gets done. Thank you, List. The proper things to do. So yeah, we'll get deco surfaces. Depending on the surface, sometimes it can be hard if they're curved, but. See, List, if you get up at 4 a.m. like me and just work from 4 to noon or whatever, you too could manage to cram in 16-hour work days. Monty the DJ says, please adjust the timers on the music buffs because 30 seconds sucks. They suck intentionally. It's not intended to be something you pull out and use it and put it away. You're supposed to be playing a bard. One of my not too distant goals is actually to investigate adding a bard tree that are a set of skills for music playing stuff, and actually making it a little bard tree. It's a little dream of mine. Be down in the bottom section there, so you'll have taming and tactics and focus and bards. Scan4 is apparently a bard fan. Can alcohol help bards? Only in real life. Let's see. What was I going to do next? I think I've shown you enough Unity crap for today. Oh, that's even less interesting, though. Hey, Gia Turag, thank you very much. Let's see. Yesterday... Oh, what? Well, look, this is so cool with Mojito now, though. This right here also sums up the problem that are the visual stuff with the if you ever played like WoW or a game where they had small races and they had big races, and it always felt like the small races ran faster. Look, I'm just running normal speed. Look how fast it looks like I'm running, though. Zoom! And that's Mojito playing with the pathfinding on the lots, in case you guys don't know. That also demonstrates how the lots actually get put in there. The house actually has a baked nav mesh for the entire house. And when it gets added to the map, it stitches together. That's actually how dungeon stuff's going to work for this release. I expect Tazar will find 100 different ways to break it, but that's how it's going to work, and it should be like no dungeon should take more than 30 seconds to load, even in adventure mode. So again, we continue. Oh, another Sinesh Kazagal for elite, and thank you XXR Hardy. I'll do a giveaway immediately after I sing a song here. Let's see. So get in now. This is for, what's the current giveaway? Let me check that first. Oh, this is for the fancy bathrobe. Let's go ahead and close this one, and then I'm gonna I'll start another one when I sing. Yeah. You guys ready? Yep. Get the earplugs ready, guys. I'm going to sing another Jim Croce here. This is one I remember singing to a girlfriend who broke up with me in high school. Way too much information, I know. I don't think I ever had the guts to sing it to her, but I sang it a lot and thought of her. All right. Again, when I was a kid, I was a coward on everything. Don't be a perfectionist. Don't worry about doing things wrong. That's what I'm trying to instill in Maxine. Here we go. Parson Bar. Parson Bar, you sir. according to my random number generator, our winner. You have won a kimono. Kimono. Bam. Alright, let me pick a better thing here because it's almost 4 o'clock. Holy crap, how did time fly so fast? I'll pick a good one. I'll do for the last one here, as I mentioned earlier, people were like, don't give away too much stuff. You gotta save stuff to sell. Well, this is one of those things I don't mind giving away lots. Even as something as cool as a village pot property deed. Because it also means that you might spend some money to buy stuff to go on it. So we will be doing for the final one today, since I gave away 2 cheesy prizes for my first 2, and I'm only going to do 3 today because it's getting late. I'll do a player-owned town village lot property deed. Again, something you guys can look forward to coming up, that if you already have a deed, having a second deed and you don't want like having another town, you're really focused on one town, this is always a good opportunity to donate it to the governor of the town and tell them to use it for some cool stuff. Because again, one of the big things probably coming for R67, not on any schedule, but if you tune into my show, you've been hearing about it a little bit, is the ability to place both no trade items as part of the reason to have it, so you can place quest stuff and other things as decos, but also the ability to place stuff so that other people can't take it. We're going to be changing things over so you can have more ownership and things. So you can put something down on a lot and not have to worry about somebody else taking it. They can still move it on the dot. So basically they can play, you can put down a bunch of chairs and they can stack the chairs in interesting ways, but they can't take them. So what this allows us to do is you can then take like a lot, and like I was saying, you can like set up a chessboard on it or something like that, a life-size chessboard, and people can play chess on it without you having to worry about people stealing the pieces. There's 100 other uses. Again, I was saying, like, you could just put out, like, make a little maze where you just put down all, 100 different wall sections that you crafted, and basically let players make a little PvP maze where you're not allowed to leave the arena, but you can move the pieces around and fight that way. So, yes, Poltergeist. But let's see, did I buy the thing? I think I bought the thing. Yes, I did buy the thing. Okay, let me update the other thing over here. Turn the who's it majigs. Let's see. Pot Village Lot Deed. Tiny me. Whee! Now it really looks like I jump high. All right, and this one you guys can blame Sinash Kazagal for. Let me take a drink of water. Well, you guys raffle up, and I'm not going to be able to read any questions anyways. Let me... Again, this is one that goes out to my 10th grade girlfriend. She was a year older than me. She was a junior. Hold on, I know the suspense is building. Star needs Windows T keys, trying to install some new computer thing. All right, I think I helped him out there. Again, this one goes out to my 10th grade girlfriend. I heard she kind of went off the edge religiously and is kind of extreme. So probably a good thing it did not work out. Let's see. I guess that it was bound to happen. Was just a matter of time. Now I've come to my decision, and it's one of the painful kind. 'Cause now it seems that you wanted a martyr, just a regular guy wouldn't do. But baby, I can't hang upon no lover's cross for you. You really gotta... Wait, that doesn't make sense. You really gotta hand it to ya. 'Cause girl, you really tried. But for every time that we spent laughing, there were 2 times that I cried. And you were trying to make me a martyr, and that's the one thing I just couldn't do. 'Cause baby, I can't hang upon no lover's cross for you. 'Cause tables are meant for turning, and people are bound to change. And bridges are meant for burning, when the people and memories, they join all the same. All right, there you go. There's your first 3 verses. I messed up a few lines in there. Again, it's been a few years since I sang any of those or heard any of those. Ow! Yeah, I drove Mojito out of the room. That's why I don't have the camera on down here. Don't blame me. I don't sing for free. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Do. Lots of comments on my singing. Good. Bring it on. You guys can blame Sinash Kazagal for that. Let's see. Repairing tools. Oh, look, I get hints on that. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I want. Trying to think where you see the tools. Tools right now are down here. I guess you guys don't get the... So you can just add... You already have that, right? Oh wait, that's GM only. Yeah, see, I want the no trade. We have a dev command now where devs can trade no trade items. So I'm trying to give out some of these things. It'd also be cool, like for these things, it would also be cool if I could set the items to no trade, and then I can feel a lot better about giving them out. I don't have to worry about you guys like reselling them or something like that. I can be even more generous with my giveaways. But yes, it does not appear. You guys have a good way. Fizzle, you are late to the show. Yes, that should be fixed for the first release tomorrow. The belief is I didn't read out the question. Chris, are you fixing the no crit bug for Meteor Shower and Earth spells tomorrow? Yes, that should be fixed for tomorrow. I believe it is actually doing crit damage, just not showing you the crit text. I said that earlier and people yelled, "You lie!" So we will see, but it should be fixed either way tomorrow. Rain? Who wants rain? Alright, I want to be big. I want to be big again. Wait a minute, why didn't that work? There we go. Whoop. I think that is actually one of those weird things. As he's AFK. Because I think the player scale, because it's a visual thing, I think it actually, the way it works is I apply a buff to him. That sends something to the server, which then sends him a message. he has to apply it, like accept it locally, and then it gets sent back through. So it's basically it's got to do a round trip, and if he's AFK, he may be sending packets slower because we slow packets for AFK people, I think. So if you saw the delay there, that's why. I can go sit in his lap. That is not where I want to be. It's always good to mess with the AFK people. Let's see if there's any more questions here. Scammer on Good Game. I have no new information on Sun Moon abilities. Again, I do want to get to them. That is one of the reasons why I mentioned earlier the change in the rewards from the reward bundle stuff to change it from being stretch goals to being something consistent and something that you will get instantly when you do the rewards. And hopefully in the future, I don't remember if this made it in, but it's going to be so you can buy, if you buy any crown package, you'll also get the reward. Not one per, but only one per count per release. But we will see on that one. That's one that we're still debating internally. But part of the reason to go from crazy whatever stretch goal stuff is one, we hadn't been seeing any real stretching in terms of seeing like big pushes at the end or anything like that. So we kind of believed that it was not doing anything. It was just giving more rewards. Two, that the old system kind of felt like with the stretch goals, it kind of felt like it was just it feels more like a Kickstarter game than an actual game. We're trying to get into more of the actual game type stuff. And then three, we had an inconsistent amount of work that had to be done. Oh, and thank you, XR Hardy, and thank you, Fakan. Thank you, Fakan. But it was resulting in a lot of extra work to do the things, because each item, it's just kind of and this is something we talked about internally, but I disagreed with Star a little bit on it. But I let him pick them, and I didn't want to do that work to pick out what things we're doing. But it felt like each level had to be cooler than the next. So then you end up with like a lot of that stuff is really hard to make stuff. What we want to do, and then you still don't get what you want a lot of times. So what we're doing instead is, for those who haven't seen, you will get the reward as soon as you pledge. So you get instant gratification. We don't have to worry about CS tickets coming in, which we get quite a few on. Hey, I never got my rewards for R63. Yeah, it's because we haven't delivered them yet because we're behind. So having them instantly come in, we don't have to worry about the CS tickets, and you guys get them immediately. And it also means we have a known consistent amount of work to do, and then we're trying to space them out so that we do basically. The goal was initial plan for it was to do a pet, a deco, a wearable, and an emote for each one of the releases. And then we know that's a little under a week's worth of work for our artists. I'm bringing this all up now. Well, one, in case you hadn't heard me talk about it yesterday, but also two, because that means we can save a week for him. Right now, he's spending almost the entire release just doing stretch goals and trying to get caught up on the old stretch goals. And he basically was in a hole, the guy that was doing them. So he should be able to, and he's also the guy that will probably be doing VFX. Although that guy who was talking in chat here a little while ago, List, is also was a VFX artist and could probably do some of those. So, but not like he doesn't have a ton of stuff to do already. Let's see. Whew. Scammeron, yes, I was kind of on yours still. Scammeron, good game. It's fine if we have to wait for the artwork to follow through. Just fleshed out design for the moon sun skills. Are on my question. Are you on my question? So yes, I was still on your question. I was explaining part of the reason why we don't have them is, again, shortage of art time, although we are making plans to change that hopefully in the very near future. I won't say very near, not too distant future. But that was also why I was explaining the change to the rewards programs. That frees up quite a bit of time. And I don't have my phone on my desk, so I'm not going to be able to tell when Maxine's going to be coming home. But I'm thinking it's not going to be too much longer here, so I will be going soon. I'm reading up on questions, and again, yeah, my question thing is broken. All my script stuff is broken. It seems my Streamlabs chatbot got deauthorized or something. I got to go reauthorize it. So sorry I'm having to read these questions off as they happen and losing track of them. Do, do, do. Lilybird, yes. And Lilybird, I will try to get. I think I've mentioned on the streams a few times that I don't have the maps I need to ship, but I did find a bag with 20 maps in them that have extra signatures on them. It has Richard's signature, but it has some extra signatures. If you're okay with that, I can send you. I can probably get you a box out here in the next day or two. And sorry again for all the horrible shipping stuff. And please have mercy on me. I work hard. Just can't, not enough hours in the day. Oh, Derpy David just told me a joke that I would tell. It's absolutely aimed at the joke level of a 5-year-old, except that Maxine wouldn't know the words. Did you hear about the cheese factory that exploded in France? They were saying there was nothing left but debris. Spelled brie like cheese. It's one of those that you have to read it, I guess. Debris. Brie cheese. Lana actually just told me something important. So the change to the lights. So for this release, house lights will default to off. There's a number of reasons for this. The two big ones are, one, it looks crappy because we can only cast shadows for a certain number of lights, and having the lights on in the house will shine lights through walls. Then two, the other reason is performance, which it's a huge performance thing to have all the lights in there. Again, you can walk into a town, and we do some logic to turn off things, but yeah, all lights should default to off. But Lana in-game may also be in the stream here as well. Just pointed out that there's a couple houses, including the new Twin Spires house, where they have lights in them, built-in lights, but you can't reach them to turn them off. So we need to fix that part. We need to fix that you can't turn those off, because you should be able to turn those off, turn those on. That's already a bug. If they're interactive. I only turned off interactive lights, so what that tells me is if it was a light that was interactive that you couldn't reach. Maybe if you put like some tables on top of other tables, you could get up there and you could actually reach it to turn it on and off. Is that practical? Probably not. Gotta think outside the box sometimes. Lich Mister, I do not plan on having a Death Pet passive next release. I will be taking a pass again on a number of things next release for the non-tamed pets. Let's see. Lots of houses have unreachable lights. Okay, then yeah, it sounds like that's a problem we need to look at. And we can go, if you know of some in particular, I can go and turn on some lights by default. I just did a batch process to turn off all lights that were set to be interactive lights, so the default state would be off. They should only be interactable lights if they're reachable. So that's the real problem. But it sounds like I'll need to fix a few houses. So. And yeah, now that I've added to the death pet on a live stream, that means I've got to go fix get specialization into the other pets. I have not done the other pets yet. I will do the other pets. Let me look at something here. Now it looks like the other ones, the elementals, currently have a multiplier. They are actually doing something for specialization. But I'll have to take a look at them for next release. I was hoping there'd just be one single thing, but it's actually split up into each elemental separately. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take a pass on the lights, unreachable lights. You guys can't see what I have on my screen, but yeah, I bet this is like one of them. There's a light. I'm looking at the twin spire house. And yeah, there's a light up here that looks like it probably isn't reachable and has nothing. No switch for it, so. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights in here that look like they're probably unreachable. Let me look at one thing here. You know what? These things have interact range. Hey, List, if you, I didn't notice, I saw you talking to some people. I didn't know if you were planning on trying to tackle some of these. I think the actual fix, this is great. This is how I talk to my team now. I'm live streaming to my team. I think the actual correct fix for these, again, is to have them off, but make the interact range for them. The interact range is defined them. They're defined as 5. If you just turn them up to 10, they will be able to interact for them. That's under the game entity interactive torch. So they are interactive. We just need to increase the interactive range so you can interact with them from the ground. And bam, I just fixed this one. Overrides, apply all. Oh, the problem is, well, I can show you the problem. Well, hold on a second, Unity's being slow, but I can show you the problem list. Hold on, wait for it. Yep, you guys can't see it, I'm waiting on Unity dialog. Waiting. Okay, so here we go. So you walk into your beautiful house. Ah, my beautiful house. Let me go over here. It's kind of dark. Let me turn on this light. Oh, another thing to note is player placed lights. The lights you put down will be on by default. I did not change those to be off by default. This was mainly, it was not to try and make your house dark all the time. It was because you walk into a town and there may be 5 people in the town. There's 100 houses in the town that have lights that are having to be managed, so. But anyways, you walk into this house, Look at these lovely high ceilings. It makes the room feel so open, and I can't reach that because it's got an interact range of 5. If you look at the light thing down here, I just changed it to 10 on these, but it's that field there. You can set the interact range to be 10. We just need to change those to 10 so they can be reached from the floor. Shep 311, that's actually one of the things we've debated, is making lights and other things remember their previous state. We obviously serialize a ton of stuff for the houses already. That was one early on we decided not to serialize, not to save out the state of things. And that was largely just because we didn't want, for the things we do, like you imagine entering into a town that's got 70 houses in it or whatever. Each of those things has like 20 or 30 things that have a saved state. So there's a little bit of data transfer. Managing that data transfer, again, it adds a little bit to the load time. It's not a huge amount. The bigger thing was just going and you got to wait for the state, and the way we load things, you may be seeing like, stuff flap open and closed or whatever as it changed states. And again, just performance and trying to manage how much state we have. But I think it's one of those things now that we've got loading better. Again, we've got some hitches. It's funny, I just met with the Crowfall guys, and they were lamenting the fact that they've basically got 0 allocations in like their loops for game stuff, but they still have hitches and lags even though they do everything exactly how Unity says. Oh, and Gaylorn Hammerthrow. Thank you, Hammerthrow, for your 100 bits. It's a name I've seen for a long time. Like seeing the old names and the new names alike. I just did the apply on that guy, so I will get that guy At least this one will be fixed for next release. But I can go to our... I can go check out some more of those things. But that'll be a case-by-case fixing some of those guys. I guess the other things we can just... I could increase all of the interactive light ranges for house to 10 meters. Default them off, but then put them to 10 meters. And yes, iStar Shredder, I did get a couple of the artifacts in. I'm going to get some more in. Also, Redfish. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he cares about people connecting his form name and actual name. Uh-oh, XX Killjoy wants me to look at something. Are prosperity tools going to make a comeback in the Kodo store? There's a lot of people screaming for that. We're debating on that. We may do something weird, like to have some alternate prosperity tools that come back that are like no trade items or something like that, to make sure the prosperity ones stay. Stop it! Stop your 1 bits. Make sure the prosperity items still remain desirable and valuable. But yeah, we're looking at that just because I know it is. That's one of those early pay-to-win things, and that's kind of the problem is we hadn't here's a pay-to-win item in the game. Damn it. 2 bits. But when you have a pay-to-win item in the game, okay, that sucks. We probably shouldn't ever have had it, but it's out there, and a lot of people have it now. But then it's like, okay, now we're going to take it away. Okay, now only some of the people have the pay-to-win item in the game. I mean, it's pretty minor pay to win. It's really more of a convenience thing. So it'll probably make a comeback in some form. In fact, I hadn't even checked up. Not a big secret that I don't pay attention much to what goes on in terms of the sales stuff and what things we're bringing back and all that type of stuff. Short version is, if you had to put it in one word, is I make the game. And help drive the team to make the game and design stuff, and Star sells the game. Although I'm here selling now, so boom! Let's see. Let's see. Alright, so it looks like I need to wrap things up because I got some people wanting some stuff from me, so... I did a little bit of good today on the stream. I didn't show any charts like I did yesterday. I know some people really like seeing that stuff. Hopefully I got most questions answered, even though I don't have my question tool going right now. But let's do the giveaway so I can get out of here and fix a few things before Maxine shows up, which could be any minute because I don't have my phone near me. So raffle up if you haven't already. Raffly, 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 raffly. Alright. Oh, wow. You guys, there's still some people who hadn't entered into the raffle. If you're just showing up, I'm just about to end the stream, which means I'm just about to go raid someone. I forget who we did yesterday. Oh, we did Alpha Fish Stick yesterday. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. You only get 1 verse for free there. Alright, that looks like that's probably enough. I gave you guys enough time. If you haven't raffled yet, then you got issues. Or you're AFK. And the winner is Gleppo1. I wonder if, are you Gleppo in game or Gleppo1? Let me send that out and then we will be doing some rating. I don't think Gleppo1 gave me any money today. You are Gleppo1. Let's see. Village. Village property tower deed. Where's a deed? Right there. Player owned town. Village lot deed. Rats. You're next door to me? What? In game or in real life? I thought I knew my neighbors. Let me go do the rating stuff now. Lilybird, I should have your address already. Let me go find someone to raid. Can anybody find me somebody to raid? Anybody find me someone to raid? Wow, we got we got 6 people on stream here other than me. Let's see, we got Iwacko, Mr. Exford. I don't think I've ever rated Mr. Exford before. Crispy Car. Actually Plain, it looks like. And Bonger and Stabeth TV. Okay, so we got 6 people here. I'm probably just gonna do a my usual boring thing and do the random, do the roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Here we go. Iwacko's number 1. Result of 5. Oh my goodness, we're going to Bonger. This is a SNES quality stream. Raid Synthetic 9. Is Bonger on here? Would you be upset if I went to Synthetic 9 instead? Oh, Swedish Redfish, you are on here. I don't see Bonger on here. All right, I'll do Synthetic 9. He's helped me out here a few times. He's always on the stream contributing. All right, so we're going to do a raid here. Again, guys, thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for the bits, for tolerating my singing when people give me 1337 bits. You could too next time. Thanks for the patience while I fix up some stuff. And again, just thanks for all the support and looking forward to the release tomorrow. Hopefully it's all going to go perfectly smooth. No bugs whatsoever. We'll see. Let's go raid Synthetic. Charge! And make sure and follow.